What is going on, everyone? Platinum Bees coming at you with yet another video. Today we are going to be talking about the $1 trillion coin that is being talked about by the US government as being used as a form of debt repayment. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. Okay, guys, so the US government is deciding whether or not they should mint a $1 trillion coin in platinum to repay debt or simply waste, in my opinion. Realistically, in my own humble opinion, this $1 trillion coin that they are planning on minting or deciding whether or not they should mint is very much a symbolic thing. It really means nothing because at the end of the day, the money that's printed on currency, the more printing that happens, the less the value of that specific currency. And so because of that, I think A, it's a bad idea, and B, it's simply just symbolic. It's simply just to make the people feel as though the government knows what they're doing and the government has a plan to fix its debt problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over and take a look at an article discussing this very topic and some of the things that are involved and all that kind of stuff. Okay, everyone, so we're going to be taking a look at this article over on Gainesville Coins' website. It is titled, Unbelievable 1 Trillion Platinum Coin Proposals Are Back. This article was published by Everett Millman, published on September 22nd, 2021. So it is a very recent article, and it was even updated on September 27th, 2021. So, the trillion coin idea has been revived by the U.S. government. Initially, the possibility of the United States minting a coin with a face value of $1 trillion was floated during the Obama administration. Interesting. So this idea is not very new, and it's at the very least not new to this current administration. However, there are similarities between the current and that administration, and I will let you deduce how those are similar. The proposal was made mostly tongue-in-cheek as an alternative way to fund the U.S. Treasury Department. The sarcastic hashtag mint the coin began circulating as a shorthand for the idea. However, you might wonder, can the government even do that? The answer is yes, actually. This is also why proposed coin has to be platinum. The melt value of 1 ounce platinum coin is only about $1,000 based on the current platinum spot price. So obviously the proposal rests on a bit of a counting trick. No precious metal or other substance could be intrinsically valuable enough to be worth 1 trillion in the form of a coin. In fact, for all U.S. bullion coins made of gold, silver, platinum, or palladium, the face value is largely symbolic. We know this because, obviously, the platinum eagle is $100, the gold eagle is $50, the silver eagle is $1, and the palladium eagle is a laughable $25. It bestows the coin with legal tender status, but the underlying metal content is worth far more than the coin's denomination. That's where platinum comes in. By statute, a loophole allows the Treasury Department to issue platinum coins in any denomination. Of course, the $100 face value platinum American Eagle coin already exists, but this legal provision means that technically the U.S. Treasury could issue a platinum coin of nearly infinite value. And that loophole they're talking about is because platinum is treated very differently than silver or gold, it gives them the ability, through a obvious loophole, to mint a platinum coin in any face value that they deem necessary. So that's one of the main reasons why they chose platinum over gold or silver or some other metal, is that it does not fall under the same restrictions and guidelines and rules of gold and silver. I can only imagine the reason for that is because it is a fairly new precious metal and its spot price has been above gold, half of gold, and kind of all over the place over time. So realistically, the U.S. Mint just has freedom in choosing what they want to do with the coin and the metal. So the U.S. Treasury could issue a platinum coin of nearly infinite value. Perhaps most importantly, no congressional approval would be needed. This is very dangerous waters to be treading in, right? Because our government, at least in the United States, has a system set in place to give balance of power. But because no congressional approval would be needed for this type of endeavor, it really leads to just the ability to be used and abused for whatever anyone really sees fit. The underlying problem is the debt ceiling. The next pressing question is why the Treasury would need $1 trillion coin. What would it do with such a coin? The seemingly wacky idea is potential workaround in the event that the legislators fail to raise the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling is the limit on how much money the U.S. government can borrow. Political squabbles over raising the limit have become an annual occurrence. So, there's theoretically this debt ceiling that the government cannot go over. It kind of gets moved, changed. The idea behind it's just a really messy kind of scenario. But basically down here, it talks about the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, has implored Congress to act and raise the debt limit. Otherwise, the federal government literally won't be able to pay its bills. And this is realistically where the idea of the platinum coin comes in. This raises the unheard of potential for the United States government to default on its bonds, which would throw the world's financial system into chaos. This is one of those prepping aspects of stacking, is if the government isn't able to come up with a solution, the whole thing comes crashing down. In theory, minting the 1 trillion platinum coin could circumvent the entire issue. The coin would be deposited at the Treasury, and the money could continue to fund the government without taking on any new debt. That's the idea anyway. It would essentially create $1 trillion out of thin air. Ever heard of inflation? I don't think the government really has. Or maybe they have and they just don't care. Thus far, the Biden administration has rejected the mint the coin option, but it's once again being talked about in the financial press. As silly as this proposal sounds, the problem it seeks to address is quite real. The government debt in the U.S. currently stands at nearly $30 trillion globally, debt to GDP, levels over 350%, even if we set aside the effects of the pandemic. Rising debt levels, both governmental and corporate, have been on an unsustainable path for years. Ultimately, the moral of the story is the U.S. government has abused its privilege as the issuer of the world's reserve currency. Meanwhile, politicians continue to play a game of chicken with the nation's finances. So as we all know, the government continues to come out and reassure the people that they've got it all under control. They know what's going on. They know what's going to happen, and they are prepared for it. But stackers and many people who even aren't stackers are greatly concerned with the government and where it's going with its spending and what it's going to do about its debt and financial obligations. So obviously this $1 trillion coin could resolve the issue for maybe like a single day, but realistically this is not a long-term viable solution. And realistically, even if they went through with this just one time, it could cause major inflation to occur, and that would help stackers and their precious metals, but it would really, really negatively impact the economy. So yeah, guys, that's what I have for you today on the $1 trillion platinum coin, that the proposal are back and it is being talked about in the financial sector. It's definitely an interesting concept, an interesting thing to see play out. I do not personally believe it would be a good idea, but it's interesting that the reason they chose platinum is not necessarily because it already has the highest face value, but because it is held to a different set of standards than gold and silver. So with all that being said, I appreciate everyone for stopping by and watching the video. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with future updates on my channel. With all that being said, until next time, we will see you.